Last night we were up at 5 to get down here. We're actually down here at CNN waiting for Demario Davis. He's going to be doing an 8 o'clock interview on CNN. Now, kind of cool. You hear about the dust-ups of like Antonio Brown or contract holders and things. And rarely do we hear from rarely do we hear about the great work that some of these guys do that are up before the sun. Literally, they're up before the sun here giving back to the community. And you can never have enough of these guys. I mean, 11 tackles against our Cowboys. 11 tackles.
Y'all still won, man.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys should be here right now, man. You guys got robbed. But anyway, okay, so we're actually in CNN here with Demario Davis, and he's getting ready to go on. Demario.
And we are so excited to have the Demario Davis join CNN this morning.
There we go. So, are we here? Okay, here we go.
Come along.
So, I was going to ask him. We'll come back to it.
Then it becomes a selective interview. You still need like an Oren or an Ainsley. Like, who's going to be somebody that's trustworthy?
Demario, are you nervous about being on CNN?
No. I'm excited.
Okay. We're going to talk about character playbook?
Oh, yeah.
So what does working with United Way mean to you?
Oh, it's amazing, man. To be able to partner with them to bring character playbook to all these schools, teaching young kids about decision making. I mean, what better tool can you have than a resource that's teaching you how to make good decisions, you know? And so adults need to be able to make good decisions, let alone our children. You know, teaching them at an early age is going to make our society better. And so I'm really passionate about the project. I'm excited.
Well, you know, we need more NFL players that are like you. Fortunately, we always hear about the ones that get in trouble. You do so much in the community, giving back and so forth. It's actually amazing the amount of time and effort that you put into it. How do you balance being a father, NFL player, as well as doing all this giving back?
It's priorities. You know, first, I try to prioritize my faith first, my family second. You know, and football next, and then the community. So that's how I try to balance it out.
I'm going to get out of the way and let them do makeup.
We're doing CNN domestic. Let's make sure this goes off. In fact, we will hand it to you.
Where am I?
You're going to join us? Yeah. The joy about Demario is he doesn't need very much makeup.
There we go.
Yeah, potentially. I just have to talk to my team down there.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually so.
We can do it after the second. Okay. Hi, Mario. Christi. I don't know what it is about Christi or Cindy, but if I say Christi, a couple minutes later it'll be Cindy. I don't know. Like, two just go together for some reason. What about you? Does anybody ever know something?
They mess up my name all the time.
What are they?
Demario.
Demario?
That's Demario.
Demario? Okay, I said Demario.
Yeah, you did good. But I mean, I don't get as much down south. When I was in New York, like everybody called me Demario.
Demario.
Really?
I'm like, Mario is an Italian name.
It's not.
That is true. That is true. So, how did Cleveland treat you?
Amazing. I love Cleveland.
You did.
I
hope they were good to you.
I remember.
I know.
But when I was out there in Cleveland, I called my friend. I'm sorry. Are you? I hated up there. He's like, "No, you gonna love it." And it's just like this tucked away. So it was good.
Hey, Marcus, you have a pen?
They had the World Series, but
You have a pen?
just couldn't bring it home. It was the White Sox.
Can I see that marker?
So I went to 2 of those games. It was good.
What was the stadium called at that point when you were there? Because you know it used to be. What is it?
I'm going to just add a note here really quickly for you.
A note for me? Yeah. Okay.
I was always just calling it dog pound. I'm like,
Well, the dog pound, yeah. But where the Indians field, you know, when they first built it, because I sing the anthem. Sing anthem.
You sing the anthem, man?
Yeah, for the Cavs and the Indians.
Oh, you
yeah.
sing?
I try.
Okay.
No,
I
you ain't
try.
trying.
It's nice to sing something other than a lullaby every once in a while, but I would take my kids back to that age.
Yeah.
Boys, girls,
I
mixed.
have two girls and a boy in the middle.
And you know those girls, I have 3 boys. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful family. Look at him.
Yeah.
Is he the baby?
He's the middle.
He's the middle.
Yeah. He thinks he's the man already.
He gets to be a little brother and a big brother.
Yeah, right in the middle. He had it rough, only boy there most of the time.
Yeah.
He looks a lot meaner on his pictures on the web.
I've got it.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Just don't mess with him on Sundays.
9, 13.
They get excited to see mommy on the news and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is good. I'm all right, so look where we are, kicking off Super Bowl weekend with the New Orleans Saints linebacker, Demario Davis. So good to have you here.
Thanks for having me on.
So listen, we want to talk about something that is dear to his heart. He's here with United Way of Greater Atlanta for this new virtual reality game, and it's called Character Playbook. It's really about teaching character to these kids. What did you see in this program, Demario, that was so important to you to get involved?
Well, when you think about the times that we're in, it's important to be able to make good decisions when you're faced with some type of adversity or facing a conflict. And that's what this program is designed to do, is to teach our youth how to make good decisions. And when they're faced with peer pressure, and they're faced with fights and conflicts happening in schools, when they're faced with bullying and cyberbullying, how do you take a negative and turn it into a positive? How do you make a positive response? So the program pretty much is a module that gives you options to say, here's a situation, what would you do in this situation? And then based on that situation, you will look at 3 different scenarios of how it will play out. So you see like the effect of decisions you make and how it changes the trajectory of your life.
Yeah, 3,700 schools it's in. It's pretty impressive. Okay, now I know that we're looking at this gorgeous view of the stadium. To be honest with me, a little bit of bitterness. Feeling like, man, I should have been in there. There's a lot of people that feel that way.
A lot of people feel that way, and it's pretty good to have that support. But I think Drew Brees summed it up best when he wrote a letter to our city and said, we're not going to be bitter about this. We're not going to have any resentment. We're going to take it and use it as a positive. We're going to congratulate the teams that these 2 great teams that are playing the Super Bowl. We're going to use it as motivation for us going forward. And I think that's a perfect example. He's a great leader of showing like how do you take a bad situation and turn it into a positive. How do you take something bad that happened and have a positive response? That's the same that we're doing with Character Playbook. Teaching kids like everything's not going to go the way you want it, and when it doesn't go your way, how do you take that negative and turn it into a positive?
Have you had conversations with any of these kids to see how it affects them?
Yeah. I personally been able to take it into, I do a summer enrichment program in Mississippi, so I've seen it brought to my summer program. I've talked to schools in Texas and New Jersey and Arkansas and Mississippi, where these kids are doing these programs and talking about how it's changing the way they think about daily situations and how they respond to them.
Yeah. And is there any one particular moment that strikes you that you remember talking to some kid about how it might have changed course for him or her?
One kid got to talk about what was happening at school with bullying, and just like this shows me that I don't have to stand by and watch my friends bully, that I can stand up and do something, and so that was interesting because that was something I didn't realize until like I was in my later years, high school and college days. If you're watching an incident happen, like you're watching somebody be bullied and you don't do nothing, you're just as guilty as the person that's doing it.
So that's interesting because it does lead me into, we can't get away from some of the controversy that's following the NFL and with Colin Kaepernick. Do you and your teammates have conversations about what you think is right or wrong, kneeling or not kneeling? How do you manage all of that?
So it's interesting because I get to work with the Players Coalition, and so when the kneeling and the protests were going on, it created a lot of controversy, but out of that, we've been able to turn controversy into a positive. We've created the Players Coalition and been very solution-oriented. A couple of days ago, we had six grantees that we were able to award, advocacy groups that we were able to award $2 million to, based on this organization that the league and the players came up with that's working on the grassroots and on the ground. And so it was a very controversial time, but we were able to take that and turn it into a positive. We've been able to affect legislation in Boston, Philadelphia, and Louisiana, where I'm at now, and in New York. So to have players who play football for a profession to be able to walk in and help change legislation, that's amazing.
I was going to say, that had to be different for you. I mean, you just said, I just came to play football.
But when you're working with, you see the power of collaboration and working together, and everybody has a part to play. We get to partner with advocacy groups, we get to amplify their message. Legislation has a part, the legislature has a part to play in changing. And so it's the same, you know, it's all kind of, that's why I'm so passionate about it all, because it all kind of works together, right? You know, and that was a very controversial time for our league, for the players, for the nation.
Still is. I mean, it just seems like it's kind of tainted. It's not going away.
Yeah, it can be that. It's okay, because every time you're faced with a negative, it's the choice that you know, life is 10% what happens to you, 90% how you respond to it. You know, and so that's what you get to teach these kids. The things we're teaching these kids are the same thing they're going to need as adults that we need, right? Like,
such a good man and such a good dad, I should say, as well.
Demario
Davis, thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you, man.
Anybody in particular you're rooting for before I let you go?
Oh, no. It'll be a good game.
Farewell. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Victor?
So, Demario, you just finished that interview with CNN. I got to tell you, man, that was actually inspiring there. So,
Appreciate it, man.
you know, I got to tell you, the question I have for you is you seem to be like a complete leader of men. And it seems like people follow you. I'm curious, going from the Jets to New Orleans, how did it fit in? I mean, how did you fit in? Did you immediately just kind of become a leader on that team, or what?
You know what? I'm a firm believer that, leaders aren't really made to perform. And you're going to lead one way or another. Just if you have the personality traits of a leader, you can use it in a negative way, or you can use it in a positive way. So it's like you're either going to influence people for good or influence people for bad. And so I know the things that are and the values that are important to me, and I just try to demonstrate that on a day-to-day basis, in a positive way, and just encourage guys to, not just be better players, but be complete individuals. Be a good person. Be a good husband if you have a wife. Be a good father if you have children. Be a good example in the community.
So you truly, you definitely live that in your everyday life.
It's everyday life, and so at that point, it really just becomes, be yourself.
Right.
Yes, we're in the elevator now.
People kind of gravitate towards.
Good man right here. Good man.
All right. So, well, we appreciate the time, man, and we look forward to next year.
Say that again, please.
All right, thank you, man.